Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. This is part 2 of us working through the Slayer machine here on Hack Smarter. Now, this is part 2, so if you missed part 1, I recommend you rewind and watch part 1 first. That's where we did a lot of our enumeration and got initial access to this machine. Also, this is a machine on the Hack Smarter platform. If you are not subscribed to Hack Smarter, you are missing out. You should subscribe right now. It's incredibly affordable, and we release new labs every single week. All that being said, let me go ahead and share my screen and dive in. You may also notice that there is chat going on. I make these videos while I live stream, and I live stream all of the time. So if you've never joined me for a live stream, you are missing out. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and hit the little bell notification so that you're notified the next time I am live. All that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. And if we look at our notes, the only folder that was interesting so far is this management folder. But we began our enumeration by only using the file explorer, primarily because if we were doing like a red team engagement, that is less noisy. But now we're like yellowing and we are here. And what I want to do is actually look at that folder a little bit closer in the terminal, because I realized what I didn't check for was hidden files. So let me go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better. And we'll CD over to management. And I think for hidden files in Windows, it's dir-force, potentially. There we go. So if you just do dir, let me show you the difference here. All right, when we just do dir, it's only showing us visible files, not files that are potentially hidden. So we can see all these PDFs. But notice when I do dir-force, we actually see a file we didn't see before, this desktop.ini file, which having it in this directory would be an odd spot for it. It actually has some information in it. We could read that file. And there you go. We actually just found a set of credentials in the desktop.ini. It looks like credentials are being stored there. But we have alice.wonderland and this password. So that's cool. I think this will be good enough. Let me grab that for our notes. We'll jump over to our terminal, and I'm going to do an H3, and we'll say compromising Alice Wonderland user. I'm going to go ahead and drop in a code block. And now I just want to know, do these credentials actually work? And we can check that real quick with netexec. Instead of Tyler Ramsby, we're going to do alice.wonderland. And then we're going to want to grab that password that we just found. So let me grab Alice Wonderland's password. Like that. Do shares. And then we cross our fingers and we hope we actually get it to work. Why don't you make a rap song and feature on Hack Smarter? One day I will. I have to be in the mood to make music. We got it. So we have fully compromised alice.wonderland. That would be, of course, a finding that we add to the report of clear text credentials being stored in a, spot that's accessible to other people. So I'm just going to drop a code block showing that we have fully compromised alice.wonderland. And now I want to know, who is Alice Wonderland? So if I do net user alice.wonderland, it will show us what groups this user is in. So we can see we have the username right there. Password required, yes. Password expires, never, which is good. Good for our purposes. Last login. And then we do have some local group membership. So she is the member of performance log users. I don't actually know if that is a built-in Windows group. I'd have to Google that. Then users, but she's also a member of remote desktop users. So that's going to be helpful to us because we should be able to RDP as Alice Wonderland and continue our enumeration from there. And I'm just going to say Alice's net user information and drop that in as a code block so we have those groups in case we want to refer back to them. So I'm going to go ahead and close out this session. And I thought I had Remina still open, but apparently I don't. Let me go to Remina. Let me go ahead and grab the IP for this machine. From the top here, paste it in. Why use netexec over crackmapexec or impacket? Crackmapexec is the older version of netexec. Nice, dude. All right, Justin. So did the call go okay? I'm assuming it did. That is awesome, dude. We'll have to talk offline because I'm curious to hear more. I'm gonna text you, dude, as soon as I'm done streaming. Love to hear how it went. But awesome news. That sounds like good news. Very exciting. Seriously. It's the best part of the stream so far. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can RDP as Alice.Wonderland. Now, I noticed when I RDP'd as Tyler, it took a little bit for Remina to work. I don't know if that's Remina. I don't know if this is a machine. I don't know if it's my VPN, but it did work and it was smooth once it worked. So before I give up, I'm going to give it a little bit of time to see if it is able to dive in. Lagging and delay on YouTube, really? Is anyone else having a lag? Oh, just on YouTube? Okay, well, I can't do anything about that. As long as it works on Twitch for you. All right, there we go. We were able to log in as Alice Wonderland. And from here, we can continue our enumeration. And since we already YOLO'd it and used the terminal, I'm just going to continue to YOLO it and use the terminal because I like the terminal more than point and clicking. And if this was a red team engagement, we've already been caught because I opened it up and began enumerating. Whoops. Let me zoom in. All right, let's see what we have going on in our user's home directory. You know, if we just do dir, we can look at the main folders first. And it looks like all the last write time was at 11:19 at 9:51 p.m. That's in the future. That's literally the future from right now. Interesting. Let's see if Alice Wonderland, who's living in the future, has any information in any of her folders. Can I just do tree? So there's nothing super interesting here. Oh, jeez, I'm mixing up my operating systems, guys. I meant to do who am I /priv, but I did ID instead. Who am I /priv? We don't have any interesting privileges, but we do have that one group. This performance log users group. So I actually want to read about this group. And let's see if we can understand a little bit about it. Timestamp everything. Yes. Okay, yeah. So the performance log users group in Windows is a security group that grants users permission to log performance counter data and perform other related tasks, especially for remote access. So does it give me the ability to look at logs and such? Because maybe that's the way forward. I don't actually know if that's going to be the way forward, but we can find out. Well, you know, I'm just going to add it to my notes for now. Maybe we'll come back to it. So we'll just do like H3 enumeration as Alice Wonderland. And we'll just make a note. She is in the performance log users group. Not sure if this is relevant or not. And I'm going to go down. Whoops, I meant to have a bullet point, and I'm just going to paste in. Well, okay, that didn't paste very well, did it? Screw it. We'll just do a text block. I don't care if it looks neat. At least we have the information there. So we have the performance log users that we might come back to. Once again, I don't really know if that's going to be a good way to get in. But what we can do now is we could run an automated tool. So you have things like WinPs that will look automatically for privilege escalation. But as usual, I like to take it slow, right? Anytime you're doing a lab, whether it's on HackSmarter or on another platform, our tendency is to rush through it. I think this is especially true when you're doing for things like First Blood and whatnot. But when you rush and don't take the time to just explore the machine, you don't learn as much. So when I'm doing like privilege escalation and enumeration, I like to do it manually. So one, I know what I'm doing, but two, the more you slow down and focus on learning, the better it will go for you. So there's multiple different things we can do for privilege escalation. We'll check out hack tricks. Oh, so Ryan said performance log users is good to know, because that means they can usually win RM in if we need that. Awesome. Okay, we could look at system information. I don't know if that's going to be actually helpful. This, I mean, you see this occasionally. Well, you will see it on an internal engagement where you find an outdated version of Windows that might be running that is vulnerable to some privilege escalation vulnerability. Knowing Ryan, I'm pretty sure that's probably not the way to elevate your privileges, although it is an easy box. So it could be a kernel exploit, but I sort of doubt it. We'll give it a second to open up system info to see if anything stands out to me, but I'm guessing it'll be fine. Environment, any credentials, juicy information saved in environment variables? We can check that. Oh, let me go back over to this. Oh, it's still trying to load our hotfix information. I'm opening up a new terminal. Is WinP still relevant? Absolutely it's relevant. I just like to do it manually. Whoops, not just environment. So I think we can do this. Jeez. All right, so what do we have in our environment information for this user? Is there anything that's going to stand out to me? Windows NT, here's the path. Windows PowerShell, we have our session name, we have our system drive, temp folder, WT profile ID, WT session. Unless I'm missing something, nothing stands out to me. You guys tell me if I am missing something here that might be helpful to us, but I don't think so. Yeah, I know. So guys, I know there's a lot of tools for automating privilege checks. I'm just telling you, I enjoy doing it manually. I feel like I learn more when I do it manually. So with this, what we're going to do is look through our PowerShell history. So let's see if there's anything in PowerShell history. I totally copied the other command, did I not? Okay. Let's try this. Okay, that does not exist. We'll just try a few of these. See if we have anything in PowerShell history. Okay, we have some information in PowerShell history. And let's look through this. So we have console host underscore history dot text. It looks like Alice Wonderland is the one who made at least the management KPI dashboard. Oh, and there was a notes.txt. Did I miss this? Maybe it was deleted later on. There's no longer a notes.txt. We have Alice Wonderland doing some Git stuff, deploying the notes. We're doing some SCP stuff to transfer files. We're setting up a file share for the administrator user. Oh, we have a service that we are starting over and over again. That stands out to me. Let me first grab this command right here, because this is how we ended up reading PowerShell history. And then I just want to highlight the things that stand out to me. So I will just do an H3 and we'll say enumerating PowerShell history. Oh, and on this manual enumeration that you guys are seeing me do, if you are studying for a certification like the OSCP, they are notorious for having privilege escalation vectors that will not be detected by automated tools. They want you to learn manual enumeration. So that's another good reason to focus on the manual side of things. It'll be better for the exams. And also, especially on a Windows environment, most Windows environments are going to have at least Defender enabled, and it's going to block some of those automated toolings. But this stands out to me. I don't know anything about this service, but potentially if we can hijack this service, we could elevate our privileges. And what I mean by that is maybe we can overwrite the binary with a shell and we'd be able to exploit it that way. Oh yeah, you can also look at PowerShell history with netexec, SMB modules. You can also do it with a sliver if you have a sliver session. But yeah, I forgot that you can do that with netexec too. We can even try that out. But All right, I'm just looking through here to see what I find. We have the person looking for password in documents. Who am I priv? So this isn't me. This would be the Alice Wonderland user. We have this internal dashboard, which is interesting. I didn't see anything running when I was looking at inetpub. So I don't think this would work. We could look at what services are running. I'll just grab it. And we'll just add it to here of things to dig into as we do our enumeration. We have who am I priv. I think the rest of this is my commands that I am running. So out of this, I think what I have that is most interesting to dig into is going to be this system management service. And we can go ahead and look at this a little bit together. I keep clicking the wrong thing. So sc.exe query, what is it? Sys. Okay, it's agent. I'm going to type this wrong if I don't copy it. All right, so it is stopped. Can I start it? Do I have permissions to start this service? And I do. So I can start and stop this service. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that and drop it into our notes. We are able to stop and start the sys management agent service. And we will drop a code block there showing that we're able to do that. And as usual, I think this is a very good natural stopping point for part 2 of us working through this machine. If you've watched my videos, I don't want to give you all the answers. I want to encourage you to dig a little bit deeper on your own. So in part 2 of this video, we covered quite a bit. We did a lot of manual Windows enumeration, looking to see if we can somehow go from Alice Wonderland over to the administrator user. And I think we potentially found the smoking gun, as they say. We found a service, the system management agent service, that our user seems to have write access over. Maybe we can actually overwrite a binary or modify the service and put our own binary in there. I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing that's the way forward, but I want you to try it on your own. I, of course, didn't show you in this video how to hijack the service, but if you do a little bit of Googling on hijacking a Windows service or privilege escalation via Windows service, you should find a lot of good information how to dig a little bit deeper and then elevate your privileges with this service. So give it a try on your own first, see if you're able to do it. If you get stuck, that's totally fine. You can then join me in part 3 in the next video, and we'll continue working through this together. But hey, good luck. Have fun. Happy hacking.